I'm Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabri. For more information on how to pay delinquent property taxes, visit our website, treasurer.waynecounty.com, or call us at 313-224-5990. We're here to help.
Hi, I'm the tax lady. Do you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS? Then listen carefully. You may be able to pay the IRS less and save thousands of dollars because right now there are special government tax programs for people like you who owe the IRS. We can even help you if you have unfiled tax returns. And if you qualify, you'll pay less money to the IRS or state. Stop worrying about wage garnishments and bank levies and call the number on the screen right now for a free tax review. We know what you're going through. We help good people like you every day pay the IRS or state less taxes all the time. If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state, call now for your free, no-obligation consultation with a tax professional. Don't fight the IRS alone. Call the Tax Ladies team today.
Call the tax lady at 855-325-1720. Call now.
Hello, Detroit. What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy, Robert Flood, back in the building. Sunday Night Vibes on Courageous Detroit Radio Network. And, on another Sunday, fun day, a hot Sunday at that, and which I hope you all are doing okay. I hope you all are staying cool because it is hot than a mug out there. You hear me? It is so hot out there and stuff, and this the type of weather I feel like we here in Detroit never experienced before because I know. Down south, it's real hot down south. It's real hot down south. But I feel like Detroit, is something. I feel like Detroit is, just a type of, just doesn't get this type of weather. Is what I'm trying to say. Doesn't get this type of weather, but. Whatever you're doing out there, make sure you be safe. Stay dehydrated. Okay, stay dehydrated. Drink plenty. I do mean plenty of water, okay? Because it is not plain out there. It is a scorcher. It's like 90-something degrees out there. Like, it is not plain. So make sure whatever you do, we'll talk. Make sure whatever you do, you stay dehydrated. And make sure your pets is okay. Make sure the seniors is okay. Make sure you stay safe because it is really scorcher out there, and I think it's going to be like this pretty much. It's going to be like this pretty much this week. Okay, so make sure you definitely do that, and that's real talk because we don't want anybody to suffocate. Anybody to do this, do that, and everything. Just be safe out there in the heat, because it's a heat wave, and we gotta be the thing. But I know y'all got this, Detroit, because if we can get through the 0 below weather in the wintertime, Detroit, surely we can get through this. Okay, surely we can get through this. So yeah, make sure you stay dehydrated out there, for real. And definitely drink plenty of water and all that good stuff, because we definitely do not want anybody out there to be, anybody out there to get, hurt or anything like that. So definitely do that. So, I wanna welcome you all. Like I said, it is another Sunday fun day and stuff. And before I forget, let me just, because obviously we didn't have a show last week because it was Father's Day. So let me say happy belated Father's Day to all the dads out there, all of the single fathers out there and stuff, because it is, we always show love to the single moms and everything like that, but we never get a chance to show love to the dads. We never get a chance to show love to the fathers. So I just want to say happy Father's Day to all of the dads out there making ends meet and stuff. Matter of fact, can we give a round of applause to all the fathers out there, all the dads out there and everything like that. Happy belated Father's Day to everybody out there, all the daddies out there making it do what it do. And yeah, because I feel like I feel like Mother's Day, we always try to show love to the moms, but never to the dads. So I definitely want to get that out. Happy Father's Day again. Related Father's Day to all of the dads. And hopefully you all had a wonderful Father's Day. Okay, hopefully y'all had a good Father's Day. And yeah, salute to all the single dads out there. Because yeah, we definitely do need this stuff. Okay, so we have got a really good show for you all today, ladies and gentlemen, because we're gonna be have cookies and stuff. And who does not like cookies? Okay, because we got some wonderful, as you can see right here, we got some display right here of delicious cookies. Cookies by Kristen is in the building. Okay, so we definitely gonna get to talk to her, find out what is going on, find out what all this is about. Another black business owner, another black business entrepreneur here, because we always want to show love to all the entrepreneurs out there. Okay, definitely want to do that. That's what this show is all about. Okay, so we have another entrepreneur in the house, Kirsten, Cookies by Kirsten. So yeah, we cannot wait to hear what she got coming up and stuff. Also, I got so much going on, but I think it was last week or the week before that I told you guys, because this show right here, Sunday Night Vibes, I'm telling you, this show has everything going on and stuff, and we are going to bring you some of the best. We're going to bring you some of the best, so much so that the Curvy Girls, the Curvy Girl Project, we had them on the show and stuff like that, and everybody, let me tell you something about those girls. Those young ladies are phenomenal. I mean, when you talk about black excellence, when you talk about young people doing their thing, young people having talent and whatnot, these young girls right here definitely is that. Okay, definitely is that, if you want to talk about black excellence. So they will be back on the show, and they will be back on the show in July. Okay, so we cannot wait for them to come back on and stuff, because it is definitely on the thing. And I really do want to hear their trip, because they went to New York, for Fashion Week in New York. If anybody remembers that, the last time they was here on the show, they talked about that. Well, I cannot wait to hear, how their trip was and everything. And they just got a lot going on in the month of July. Okay, I don't want to spill the beans or nothing like that. I mean, I don't want to spoil anything. I'll just wait for them to come on so they can tell you for themselves. But just know they got a lot coming on in the month of July. And by the end of the month, by the end of July, they got a special event coming up. And it has to do with the one and only, the icon himself, Stevie Wonder. That's all I'm going to say. That is all I'm going to say. Okay, so let that sink in. I'm sure everybody knows who Stevie is and everything like that. But they have something coming up with Stevie Wonder, and like I said, I'm gonna let them come on the show and let you know exactly what they got coming up and stuff. So definitely cannot wait for that. Oh, I'm so excited for them to come back on and stuff. So that is going to happen. And I told you the Detroit Youth Choir, I told you they was coming on in August. Okay, so hey, I'm telling you, this show, I'm telling you, y'all are going to experience a lot of talent here on Sunday Night Vibes. Okay, y'all are going to experience that. We got the Detroit Youth Choir coming in August. We got the the Curvy Girl Project coming in July. This show is going to be on and popping. So y'all just buckle up. Okay, y'all buckle up, because it's going to be a bumpy ride. Okay, it's going to be a bumpy ride. But look, we got a really good show for y'all today, because like I said, we got the owner of Kirsten's Cookies, Kirsten Johnson, is in the building and stuff. So we're going to take a short break and get this party started with Kirsten. Kirsten Johnson is in the building and stuff. We go talk about what she got going on and talk about these delicious cookies right here as well. So we'll be right back, y'all. We're going to get this party started with Kirsten Johnson in the building. Cookies by Kirsten's Cookies right here on Sunday Night Vibes. Back after this, y'all. Don't go nowhere.
Clean up on aisle 5. Sounds like my life right now. Just one big mess.
What's going on?
It's my property taxes.
What?
I am behind and I am so worried that I'm going to lose my house. I can pay some of it, but I can't pay it all at once.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm Eric Sabri, the Wayne County Treasurer. The last thing I want is for anyone to lose their property to tax foreclosure. We have assistance programs to help. Visit us at treasurer.waynecounty.com and we'll help you keep your home. We're here to help.
This vacation offer is so good, I'm going to repeat it. If you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, even up to the 80s, come to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico for 6 days. All meals included for only $2.99. Again, come to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. All meals, all drinks, $2.99. We'll even give you a free cruise or land package if you're one of the first 50 people to call right now. Again, come to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico for only $2.99. Be one of the first 50 people to book right now in our luxurious, all-inclusive resort. If you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, even up to the 80s, you deserve a great vacation. So take it right now. Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Call now and get a free cruise or land package on top of your trip.
Call 877-543-3960. That's 877-543-3960. Again, 877-543-3960.
All right, y'all, we are back. It is Sunday Night Vibes on Courageous Detroit Radio Network with your boy Robert Flood in the building. And y'all hear that music in the background. I mean, that's that hype music right there. That is that hype music. Because, yeah, we are all about hypeness on Sunday Night Vibes, okay? So we trying to keep the party good. We trying to keep it safe and all that good stuff on the Sunday night. Because, yeah, we're all about the vibes on Sunday Night Vibes, all right? And, yeah, that's just what it is. But look, we're going to get right into it. I am so excited to have my guest on tonight on the show. She makes these delicious cookies, as you can see right here, and stuff like that. You know, a bag and everything here, and all these cookies and everything. But I'm just so excited to have this young lady on, an entrepreneur. She is, you know, the owner of Cookies by Kirsten. And she is just doing amazing work. And so excited to have her on. Y'all give it up for Kirsten Johnson in the building.
Yay.
Hello. Welcome to the show. Looking all nice. Looking all summery.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And so welcome. And I'm loving the shirt you have on as well.
Thank you.
And you just got back from Houston, right?
Yeah, I needed a little break. You know, as an entrepreneur, we work a lot all the time.
So sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of work-life balance, so that way when you come back, you know, you can hit the ground running. Everybody needs a refresher, a little downtime. So
I know that's right.
Yeah.
I know that's right. So, what part of Houston did you go to?
well, here's the thing, is what I learned about Houston. Houston is huge. So I was kind of all over Houston, you know, a little bit of North Houston, a little bit of South Houston, because you can drive for 50 miles and still be inside of Houston. So it's a huge place. I wasn't there very long.
Huge place.
Yeah. I wasn't there very long. You know, it was like a Thursday to a Sunday. So we jam-packed a lot of things in the day. Went to some Juneteenth celebrations, things like that. Those are pretty cool. You know, as Galveston is the place where Juneteenth pretty much started, you know.
And can we talk about that for a second? How important, for those who don't know, obviously, about Juneteenth, and everybody has a day off and everything, and as of 2021, Biden actually made it an official holiday. But for people who may not be familiar with Juneteenth, what's your definition of Juneteenth?
Well, for me, I'm not an aficionado, but for me personally, you know, Juneteenth just means freedom. It's just ironic that, you know, the people who were on this plantation were actually free, and they didn't know they were free. You know, for 2 years after, you know, freedom was declared for them, they didn't know that they were free. So what that means to me is, you know, as long as you remain in the dark, you know, people allow you to be in the dark as long as you want to be in the dark. But it wasn't until they were already free and they didn't know they were free. Somebody needed to tell them that, you know, they were free, and they didn't catch up until, you know, 2 years later of no fault of their own. But, you know, sometimes people will keep freedom, information, you know, things like that from you, you know, in an effort to keep you stagnant. So as long as you're always with knowing that people have the ability to keep you blinded, or keep you, or think that they have the ability to keep you blinded, you know, if freedom is supposed to come, freedom will eventually come for you, even if it's 2 years later.
Even if, I feel like that is very important stuff. So, Juneteenth, it's still Juneteenth weekend.
Oh,
you know,
really?
it's still Juneteenth weekend, and even though the weather's hot, I'm sure people is out there, you know, still doing what they're doing for Juneteenth. So I just wanted to get your take on that,
Okay,
because
good.
absolutely,
For sure.
we have to definitely keep holidays like Juneteenth and everything. Kind of thing. So that is what's up. That is so what's up. So okay. So let's get back to Houston. So
Okay.
did you see any? Did you see any sights while you were there? And because Houston, like you said, is a big town and stuff like that. And I think Megan Thee Stallion and Beyonce, they're both from Houston.
They are.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah, it was really nice. I did see
it was
some
great.
sights.
How was the trip overall?
It was great overall. You know, I was able to go to the Improv Comedy Club. I was able to see Arnez J. He's super funny, to be able to see him, you know, in person. And then, of course, I went to the legendary Parkwood Street, which is the reason why, you know, Beyonce's, I think it's her management label, was named after Parkwood. That was actually the name of her childhood street. So to be able to see her childhood home, and, you know, where Kelly went to school, and, you know, things like that, all of the things that the touristy people want to see. I wasn't able to get to the Galleria Mall because, again, it's a short trip. And with, you know, Houston being so vast, you know, you really need about a good week to see all of Houston. So, you know, but the things that I did see was great. It was a great power-packed, you know, few days. So it was awesome.
So you were there for 4 days?
Yes.
So 4 days and stuff, and that is amazing. That's amazing. So you just saw all the sights and
pretty much. I even went to see another baker. There's another cookie artist there. His name is the Bearded Baker. And he creates custom cookies like I do. So, you know, whenever I can try to go to another city and connect with another baker, I'm just all about connecting, expanding resources, you know, things like that.
That is amazing. That is amazing. And what's his name again?
He's the Bearded Baker of Texas.
I like that name, Bearded Baker.
Yeah,
of
gentleman
Texas.
actually in this game. So it's nice.
That should be a movie title. Meredith Baker from Texas, coming to theaters near you. No, let me. But that is amazing. That is so amazing and stuff. And so you made it. So you made it back in time for the show and everything, which we're happy and stuff and everything. So okay, so let's get into it.
Okay,
now.
let's get into it.
What made you decide to get into the cookie business?
Well, it's a number of reasons. Well, let me just, I guess, allow myself to give a brief introduction. Anyway, the name of my business is Cookies by Kirsten, and I basically make custom cookies for all occasions. So corporate events, putting company logos on cookies, as well as casual gatherings like baby showers and things like that. So initially when I started to make cookies, it was a labor of love. My daughter, who was a preschooler at the time, was having a birthday. Elmo was all the rave, and I was at a time where I needed to use creativity to celebrate my daughter's birthday, because I was low on funds. I was just a single mom trying to make something happen for her daughter. So I decided to decorate these Elmo cookies, and the preschoolers loved them, so much so that another parent came to me and was like, wow, this cookie is really cute, Kirsten, do you do Transformers? And I agreed, even though I had never done Transformers before. But luckily the party was 2 weeks away, so I was able to just practice, which is another thing. You do something else, you do something repetitiously, you do something enough, you become pretty good at it. So by the time those 2 weeks came, I was able to deliver a Transformer cookie, and then the occasion started to build, which is how I ended up with my slogan, there's always an occasion for a cookie. So as more people started to reach out, hey Kirsten, do you do birthdays, do you do baby showers, do you do christenings, do you do Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's Day, Sweetest Day, just all of these occasions. So
all the holidays.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I like that slogan. What's the slogan you said?
There's always an occasion for a cookie.
There's always occasion for a cookie.
Absolutely.
That should be a t-shirt right there. That should definitely be the thing. I like that though. I like that. And so how old is your daughter now?
She'll be 20 in November, so she's 19 years old.
She
college
grown.
student.
She grown with it.
Kinda, grownish, you know what I mean? But yeah, for sure. She'll always be my baby.
Absolutely and stuff. And when she was a little girl and stuff, you had a party for her. Now I'm curious, what is a Transformer cookie?
It's just a cookie with basically the Transformer face on it, how the Transformer symbol looks, where it's essentially, I put it on a square cookie, and when you look at the symbol, it's just a bunch of lines in a sense when you break it down to its simplest form. So I was just able to recreate it on a yellow cookie and a blue cookie and a red cookie, just similar to the Transformers. And it was simple enough. Their designs weren't elaborate at that time, but it was enough to be able to convey that it was a Transformer. So the customers were happy.
And you got a lot of good feedback. Pretty much,
absolutely, right? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and people came out and supported your business and stuff like that. I love that. Yeah. And the cookies I imagine are great. But let's talk about the flavors, because I know you're best for making flavors and stuff like that. So talk about your flavors. What kind of
I
flavors?
customize cookies, so we don't get into too many additives in the cookies as far as like chocolate chips and things like that. We need to have a smooth surface in order to be able to decorate on the cookies. So we have a lemon sugar shortbread cookie, there's an almond butter cookie, and then there's a snickerdoodle cookie. But of course, we have seasonal flavors, strawberry lemonade, things like that. So we have several flavors that we can do with our sugar cookie.
You say you have, you say you have a snickerdoodle
almond chocolate. Almond sugar and lemon sugar shortbread.
Okay. So you it's like you create these cookies and stuff, right?
Yeah, for sure. It was my grandmother's recipe, actually.
Okay.
It was her tea cake recipe. And she used to make these little tea cakes for my grandfather that he loved to have with his coffee. And I just decided to, add different flavors, as she often would. Lemon was his favorite kind, which happens to be the fan favorite with our customers. And I just decided to buy these different cookie shapes and shape them different shapes and, decorate the cookies for whatever the occasion.
So whatever the like on holidays and stuff. And
Not necessarily holidays, whatever your holiday is. So if you're having a wedding, we'll make cookies. If you're breaking up, we'll have cookies. If we're having a baby, we'll have cookies. You know, there's always an occasion. So there's not necessarily, you know, holidays. It's whatever personal holiday you may have. So
not breaking up.
I mean,
a divorce party or something.
People have them. You know, I'm not your priest. I'm just your cookie maker. So I just do what I'm, you know, contracted to do. So
That is what's up, though. That is what's up. Because there are, believe it or not, there are, real talk, there are people who do have divorce parties and stuff like that as well. So I can
sometimes
see
it doesn't
that.
work out, you know?
It don't work out.
Sometimes.
It don't work out. I'm still single, so I wouldn't know that one.
Okay.
But look, when we come back though, I want to get to these goodies that you have on this display over here because it is definitely they look good. They look delicious and stuff.
We'll
so
let you be the judge.
we would definitely get into it and stuff. And we gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about all of this right here that you see. Everybody out there in YouTube land or wherever you may be watching, all of this right here. We're gonna get into it when we come back with Kirsten Johnson. Cookies by Kirsten is in the building. Sunday Night Vibes with your boy Robert Flood, Courageous Detroit Radio Network. And make sure, let me say this too, make sure you like, subscribe, and share the show, okay? I don't think I said that yet today. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share the show, please, and thank you. It would mean a lot to your boy, alright? We'll be right back after this.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
Call 855-993-2087. That's 855-993-2087. 855-993-2087.
This vacation offer is so good, I'm going to repeat it. If you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, even up to the 80s, come to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico for 6 days. All meals included for only $2.99. Again, come to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. All meals, all drinks, $2.99. We'll even give you a free cruise or land package if you're one of the first 50 people to call right now. Again, come to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico for only $2.99. Be one of the first 50 people to book right now in our luxurious, all-inclusive resort. If you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, even up to the 80s, you deserve a great vacation. So take it right now. Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Call now and get a free cruise or land package on top of your trip.
Call 877-543-3960. That's 877-543-3960. Again, 877-543-3960.
All right, y'all. All right, we are back. It is Sunday Night Vibes with your boy Robert Flood on Courageous Detroit Radio Network, and the number to call into the station is 313-573-8689. 313-573-8689, and call in and say whatever you want to say to Kirsten, who's in the building. Cookies by Kirsten.
Keep it cute.
Is great and stuff. She said, keep it cute. Keep it cute, y'all. Keep it cute.
Mm-hmm.
But call in 313-573-8689. And like I said before the break, like, subscribe, and share the show. please do that. It'll mean a lot to me, all right? Please and thank you. Okay, so we are back with Kirsten Johnson, Cookies by Kirsten here. And you know what I love about you is that you are an entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
You are such an entrepreneur. And right before we, and just tell me this before we get to the products here.
Sure.
What made you an entrepreneur? Why did you want to become an entrepreneur?
I mean, I had worked for companies for a long time. Actually, it was one particular event. I can tell you exactly what the event was. I used to work for a financial institution, which is a bank, and my daughter, you know, as young children often do, you know, sometimes they get ear infections and things like that, you know. And as her mom, I needed to take my baby to the doctor, give her this medicine. You know, back in the day, they used to have this amoxicillin medicine that they give you. You put it in a syringe and, you know, give it to your baby. And after a while, you know, it clears up the ear infection or whatnot. So, you know, I had called into work and I told my manager, you know, that my daughter was sick, and she said, okay, well, get her as snug as a bug in a rug, and then maybe you can come and help us cover lunches. Oh. And that just didn't sit right in my spirit. It kind of upset me in a sense, you know, because I just felt like it was a total blatant disregard, you know, for me. And then she went on further to insult me, to ask me, you know, well, where's her dad? Like, she's got her dad.
You said she insulted you?
I was insulted at the fact that, you know, I'm telling you that my toddler is sick and, you know, I have to take care of her, and you asking me about all these other people who can take care of her when I'm her mother, you know, regardless if there are other people involved, you know, I'm still her mother. And it was just very insensitive to me, considering that I give my all to you all, you know, and when it's time for me to need something, you know, as far as being able to take care of my daughter, it was like this pushback that, you know, I didn't necessarily like, and that thing just bothered me. So day after day after day, I used to walk by this sign. There was a slogan for this institution that we used to work for. It was called it was basically chase what matters, and that was the theme. But it just rung so much deeper to me, to make me even internally question, you know, Kirsten, what matters to you? You know, does it matter that you're able to work this job for these people, or does it matter that you're able to show up for London as, you know, the mother that she needs? And for obvious reasons, I chose what was important. It was definitely to be a mother to my daughter, because jobs do come and go, you know. And then from that point, I just went on to be an entrepreneur. Now, initially, when I got into being an entrepreneur, I really didn't understand to a degree what that meant, because, you know, everybody wants to be a boss until it's time. You know, everybody wants to be able to have the business cards and be able to say, you know, I have my own business. And it is so much more than that. You know, understanding your numbers, understanding production. There are times that I have to sacrifice time that, you know, people would normally be outside doing the things that they do. But because I run a business, you know, that I have a commitment to my customers. I have to be able to keep keep a good reputation and things like that. So, you know, people say, oh, Kirsten, you get to do, you know, what you want to do. That's partly true, but not all the time, you know, because at least when you work a job, sometimes when you clock off that job, you know, you go home and then you go and live your regular life. Yeah. But when you're an entrepreneur, you just eat it, you breathe it. You know what I mean? Like, everything is about it. If you're not working on the if you're not working in the business, then you're working on the business, you know, as far as studying your numbers and, you know, things like that, all of the things that are important. So you have to be able to multitask, and that's the thing that I didn't really understand at first. But the business disciplined me as, you know, things started to come about. I learned by doing. So, you know, if a customer wants, you know, a certain number of cookies, Kirsten, well, you know, you made a deadline. The deadline is Saturday. You can't give these people the cookies on Sunday because the event was on Saturday, which means you need to work on your time management, you know, being able to, you know, study your numbers. You can't just work all the time where you're not reflecting on the work that you've done, in the sense of, you know, looking at your numbers, your profits, your losses, how much are your expenses, you know, just all of those things. Because as a creative, I want to create. That's what I want to do. But that's only part of running a business. You know, another part of it is the business part, where it forces you to, you know, make decisions about your business based upon numbers, not based upon, you know, how you feel. It's just understanding what your customers want, what they're asking you for, you know, pricing. What is the market for your cookies? What are the things you do? How much do you even charge for your cookies? You know, we want to create these things, but you want to also be able to make a livable wage. So they're just like all these things that I've learned since I started this business in 2009. We are now in 2025, so it's not something that just happened overnight. I'm a self-taught cookie artist, so there were a lot of things that were being built at the same time, not just my skill, but being able to build the confidence in myself to be able to say I'm a cookie artist, or sit on a podcast with Robert Flood and say, I am the proud owner of Cookies by Kirsten. All of that didn't come overnight. That took time to be able to build that.
That, she said a mouthful, y'all.
I did. I know. I'm sorry. I talk a lot.
No, you good. You good. I agree with everything you said, though. I agree with everything you said and stuff. And so you started this back in 2000. I know the flies is just taking over the show.
Listen, okay? It's lit in here.
It's taking over the show here.
They love it. They waiting on you to crack the cookie.
They want to be a part of it. They want to be a thing. But look, you started this back in 2009.
Well, yes, that's when I officially established my business name.
Oh, okay.
When I officially decided to incorporate and say, what's the name of this business going to be? Well, I'm going to be Cookies by Kirsten LLC. So that's when I decided to make, the stance to the world that she was born. But that was a slow grind. You build brick by brick. Well, not initially. Anything that's worth building. When you build a house from the ground up, when you build a house, you actually have to start from underground. You know what I mean? You laid up the foundation, the basement first. You know what I mean? And then you slowly brick by brick by brick by brick. And after years, go on, then, you could put the roof on and all of that. A lot of times businesses start where they want to do the roof first, which is, the aesthetic, the frills of it, I'm a boss, all of that, and you really haven't really set your foundation. So, when you want to set things that are structurally sound, you kind of have to start underground and then build up. There you go.
Start from the ground up.
It was below the ground, because I started doing cookies in my basement.
Oh,
so it was literally below the ground.
Literally below the ground.
Absolutely.
I know that's
for
right
sure.
And stuff. And now, this is what I wanted to ask you. Your daughter, is she the only child, or do you have any more kids?
No, sir.
So you're one and done.
I understand why my mother only did it once.
You're one and done.
Yeah, one and done. Listen, I don't understand how people do that 2, 3 times, 6 times, 7 times. I don't get it, honey. I mean, I don't know. I did one was enough for me. I made a vow to the Lord, and I won't take it back. And so far, it's been good.
I know, but she probably get lonely. She probably wanted a little brother.
Because her father had other children. See what I'm saying? See how God worked that out?
Okay.
She got a sibling, and I didn't even have to have it. He does all things well.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
There it is.
Hallelujah,
right.
won't he do?
Definitely. Hallelujah. Okay. I love it, though. I love it. Man, this is amazing.
For sure.
Okay, so let's get to why you are really here.
Let's get into it.
We want to talk about what's going on with these cookies you got here on display.
Absolutely, sure.
Yeah.
So go ahead and crack one open. This particular
let's get it
cookie.
started. Let's see what we got here.
This theme is a bear. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a bear. There's a popular theme going on among baby showers that we can barely wait. So people like to do teddy bears and things like that. So I just brought a few extra, just so that you guys will be able to taste them. But these cookies are handcrafted.
Y'all can see it. Hopefully everybody out there watching or listening.
Or you can go to visit us on our website at www.cookiesbykirsten.com, and that way you can take a look at some of the things that we've done, some of the companies that we've worked with. We've worked with General Motors, we worked with Ally Financial. I've even made cookies for Savage X Fenty, which is Rihanna's lingerie brand. She opened a store on Woodward just last year.
You talking about the singer Rihanna?
Yes, sir.
You talking about the singer Rihanna?
The bad girl called the bad girl.
Did you hear what she just said, everybody?
Yeah.
She said she worked with the one and only herself, the singer Rihanna.
Okay, well, not too much on it. Because I didn't exactly work with Miss Rihanna, but it was certainly her brand. She has people that do these type of things for her. But to be able to say that, my cookie was a part of her grand opening within my city is just like huge for me. So yeah, I did work with her, but it wasn't like she called and was like, "Hey, Kirsten," Although in my mind, that's kind of how it happened. But her people got in touch with my people, and we worked it out.
That is amazing. That is so amazing, and that gotta make you feel good to be working with celebrities.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, but it's not just celebrity really, because the celebrities are great people, don't get me wrong, but it's the everyday person. It's people like, I have clients where they have their kids' birthday parties every year, and the kids are like, okay, are we going to get custom cookies? It's the regular people. It's regular people who work at these companies, they're secretaries at these companies, and they may say, oh, we want to do Christmas cookies this year, and they think about the cookies that you created for them in their personal lives, and sometimes they put your hat in the ringer, and if they call you, then that's another opportunity. So it's like really not just the celebrities, although they are great, but in my mind, all my customers are celebrities, because all of them help sis keep the lights on, all of them, work together in order to, they promote me, they tell their friends about me, so celebrities are cool, but I like celebrity regular people.
You like the regular people?
Yeah, I love those people because they really love you. Celebrities, they are great, but there's a job to do. They come in and they have their events and things like that. They don't necessarily tell their friends about this great cookie maker that I know in Detroit. Whereas some of my other customers, they know somebody that's having a baby or whatever the occasion is, and they say, oh, we looking for treats, and they go to bat for the girl. Hey, I know somebody who makes great cookies, and that only comes with doing a great job for them and building that relationship, not just because they celebrities I'm gonna show out. No, any customer, any person that is willing to entrust me, first of all, with their monies, I'm going to give them a stellar product. So everybody's celebrities to me, honestly.
So you treat them like celebrities, your customers.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Because all of them work together to help, you know what I mean? Like they are all celebrities, even within their lives. People, when they have their events, sometimes people come to the birthday parties to see, what theme we're going to have this time. One of them may say, Mr. Wonderful. I have this one customer where she has all these cool themes. So far, we're on the 4th year. So the first year was Mr. Wonderful. The second year was like too legit to quit. The third year was somebody is turning 3. Just all the customers and their creativity. They just create all of these events, and we're just challenged to be able to make the cookies for whatever they are. So the customers are the people who come up with the themes. The customers are the people who come up with the ideas. They just allow me, tell me the colors, tell me the theme, and then they give me the freedom to incorporate, and it works out.
Yeah. So they tell you the theme and stuff. By the way, I love that Too Legit to Quit.
Yeah, she was dope for that, right?
Yeah, and obviously MC Hammer wrote that. Back in the day and stuff. So is that where it came from?
I'm pretty sure that's the inspiration, but it's just the fact that people have all of these themes. Used to be the theme was like a baby shower, but now there's themes within a theme. It may be a baby shower, but it may be a boss baby shower. It may be a baby shower, but it may be butterflies and fairies or whatever the case. So even within these baby shower themes, there are themes, if that makes sense.
Total, man.
Yeah.
I love it, man. It is so amazing what you do.
Thank you.
Stuff like that and everything. But I wanna talk about this as well when we come back about because I always usually I ask my guests this all the time on the show and stuff about what made you decide to be like an entrepreneur and stuff, and but I know you got like because I know you're doing a lot, and you probably got events coming up this summer that I'm sure you want people to know about and stuff. But I did wanted to ask you how is being an entrepreneur changed your life and stuff for what you do and stuff. So hold that thought, because I know you about to say it. I know you about to speak your mind and stuff. But we gonna come right back. And when we come back, more with Kirsten Johnson, Kirsten's Cookies by Kirsten on Courageous Detroit Radio Network. And Kirsten actually is my niece's name, so it's funny that y'all two got the same name.
Yay,
and stuff like that and everything. But so when we come back, we're gonna have more from Cookies by Kirsten. Right after the break, Sunday Night Vibes, Courageous Detroit Radio Network. Back after this.
All right.
Clean up on aisle 5. Sounds like my life right now. Just one big mess.
What's going on?
It's my property taxes.
What?
I am behind and I am so worried that I'm going to lose my house. I can pay some of it, but I can't pay it all at once.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm Eric Sabri, the Wayne County Treasurer. The last thing I want is for anyone to lose their property to tax foreclosure. We have assistance programs to help. Visit us at treasurer.waynecounty.com and we'll help you keep your home. We're here to help.
You know, follow me on my socials.
Yeah. That was kind of quick, though. I didn't know the day. We kind of caught me off guard here. Okay. Let me get myself together. We are back. It is Sunday Night Vibes with Robert Flood, your boy Robert Flood, on Courageous Detroit Radio Network. We got the one and only Kirsten Johnson by Cookies by Kirsten. Say that 10 times fast. Cookies by Kirsten.
Sure.
In the building right here. And we just having fun, man. We just having fun. And the flies is just taking over the show and everything like that. It's just really and stuff. So it's on. It is amazing, man. It is amazing. But yeah, so Kirsten, right before we went to break, are you because I'm sure the summer's here and everything, and I'm sure you have some events and stuff that you want the people to know about. I'm sure you got some great events coming up. So do you have any events that you want people to know about that's coming up anytime soon, maybe? Or
yeah, I mean, you know, it's the everyday work that we do. We work every day, you know, to make cookies. Now, specifically as far as any pop-up shops or anything that we're going to be doing, our cookies are custom made, so we don't really do very many of those. But you can always order cookies from us. We're very easy to find. You can always reach out to us at www.cookiesbykirsten.com and place your custom order, because it's all about making customized cookies for you. Now, if you know, we get invited to an event just in this past April. We did All Things Detroit down at the Eastern Market, you know, where they have the big shopping rally, you know, over the 3.
Oh yeah, that's with Jennifer. Right?
Yes, Jennifer. Yes. She's amazing. So we were on Fox 2 for that, and then they came to visit us at the booth that day. So, you know, we were putting pictures on cookies. So like your image, I can actually take your image and put it right on a cookie so that people really have fun with that. So, you know, just because it's what we do is labor intensive. You know, we don't do very many vendor fairs. It's not that we don't do them at all. It just takes quite a bit of preparation in order to create handcrafted cookies, you know, to be able to sell, because we like to make our cookies made to order for our customers, so that way they can get exactly what they want. Now, if it's a themed event such as, you know, Tiger's Day or, you know, something like that, then we can go ahead and pre-make things for that, or Mother's Day or Father's Day or things like that. But yeah, we're working all the time, so it's not an event in particular that I can tell you about, but I will tell you this. I have been shocked in a great way by the things that have happened to me, the connections that I've been able to make. You know, you mentioned, I mentioned Savage X Fenty, but, you know, Rihanna wasn't the only one. When Mike Epps opened his comedy place downtown, it's called One Mic, I was able to open to make cookies for, you know, his opening day. And these are all things.
That must have been exciting.
It was exciting to go to the event, you know. Yeah, it was super nice, but, you know, again, that's not necessarily something where I said, you know, well, I'm gonna go after Mike Epps and open it. It was in a sense where, you know, he found me. So I'm just always surprised by the favor that I get by what I do on a regular every day, because I don't know which customer it was, if it was a customer at all, that somehow knew somebody, because people have to know people, right? So it's important for you to be nice to, or to be the same person to every person, whether you see them as important or whether you see them as regular people. These people happen to know other people. Like, people will walk up to me and not know that I know Robert Flood, who has a podcast and all of that kind of stuff, you know. But if you don't if you treat me in a way where, you don't think that what I may have for you is valuable, you could miss out on some of the resources that I potentially have just because of the way that you see me. So I often try to not see people in that way. I just try to be the best cookie maker that I can for my customer, and somehow these opportunities just come to me. Well, not somehow. I know how it happens. When you put out good work, it comes back to you. When you do good things, good things come back to you in the world. So that's exactly how it happens. To say I don't know how it happens would not be being completely honest. But the truth is that, not having a respect of person, but respecting all people really, and what they contribute to your business.
That is amazing. I love this for you. I love this for you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Keep up the good work. And give out your locations.
Okay, well, right now we're baking at the Eastern Market. We are tenants at Shed 5 down at the Eastern Market, so we bake there. At some point, we are going to get our brick and mortar store. I guess I can share with you what my dream is, but the dream is once I get a brick and mortar location, I would love to be able to have, a shared kitchen space where not only I'll be the kitchen space that I needed when I was coming up, where other bakers will have the opportunity to have access to commercial grade equipment and be able to make, to sell their things, because everybody knows somebody who makes an amazing chocolate cake or red velvet cake or cherry cake, and they don't exactly know how to go about getting exposure, maybe putting it in a Meijer store, or maybe even getting your license in order to be able to sell, B2B, which is business to business. A lot of people don't know that you could just make a good cake. Miss Carolyn doesn't know that her cheesecake is the bomb. Like, she knows that everybody around her likes it, but there's a way that you can elevate. But oftentimes we don't know how to do that because we don't necessarily know what steps to take. So my ultimate goal is to be able to help other bakers like me rise, pun fully intended. Because when we, rise together, I'm not a person who wants to rise above everybody else. I want all the boats to rise at the same time, so that way we can shine, for our city. No, big eyes and little U's. We're all giants. So I want to be able to help in that, to be able to say that I help to cultivate the next entrepreneur. So, our dream is pretty big. It's going to take a whole lot of cookies to be able to do, getting equipment and things like that. But it certainly is possible. And we just want to make sure that we build our foundation strong. So right now we're just leasing out of the Eastern Market, where we bake our cookies there, and we hand decorate them, and we take custom cookie orders all the time.
There it is. There it is. All right. All that in a mouthful and stuff. And I love that. I love that. I can see why you a talker. I can definitely see why you a talker. So I love it though.
I just didn't want you to want to bore you to death. You know what I mean? I had to come with it.
People want to know that. People didn't think. So, give out your location again. And, give out your location.
Okay, well, our location is on the web. We're at www.cookiesbykirsten.com. You can follow us on our social medias. On Facebook, we are Cookies with a K, K-O-O-K-I-E-S by B-Y Kirsten, K-E-I-R-S-T-E-N. We're that on our Instagram, on our Facebook, on our TikTok, on all of the social medias. So follow us, see some of the things that we create, and we can't wait to create something great for you too.
I love that. So all social medias, y'all need to hit her up.
Or the website, absolutely.
Website, social media, and all that. And you're at the Eastern Market, right?
Yes, I'm at the Eastern Market. I bake there. Yeah. I mean, the Eastern Market is a shared location. Nobody really owns the location, but a lot of makers go to that commercial kitchen space, and they're able to make their goods because I have an MDAR food establishment license, which basically means that I have the ability to be able to sell my goods to the public, or sell my goods to companies. But there is a certain vigorous process that you have to go through as far as being vetted by the Department of Agriculture, the health department, things like that, to make sure that you're doing everything pristine and clean, because you're making things that people consume. So you want to make sure that Everything is at dough. The dough is at the right temperature, all of that, so you don't get foodborne illnesses, things like that. So we bake at a shared kitchen where our license allows us to have a further reach. We can even ship nationwide. We shipped, Africa said hello to us. Hi, Africa. Earlier this year, we were able to ship cookies to Cameroon, Africa. Now, I don't know anybody there, but clearly somebody that I know knows somebody who needed to have. See what I'm saying? So that's back to the original point.
People is hitting you up all the way in Africa.
That's all I'm saying. So it's back to the original point. You never know who you're encountering when you encounter them. So just treat everybody kind.
Nationwide, man.
Okay,
Nationwide.
International player.
Nationwide.
There's that.
And another thing, do you have a bestseller cookie? Like, what is your bestseller?
All of them. Flavor, as far as flavor, the lemon butter cookie is everybody's favorite. But, I think the thing that makes the cookies really stand out is that, our customers' imagination is our competition. So, for the most part, we don't tie people's hands by basically telling them what kind of custom cookies that we get. You give us an idea, and, we brainstorm back and forth, and then together we'll come up with the cookie set that kind of works for you, based on themes. Oftentimes, whenever there's a new character that comes out, a new Marvel movie, or something like that, people usually have these themed parties. So really, as far as the cookie flavor, it's the lemon flavor. But as far as cookie designs, it's great because everybody can have their own custom cookies to match whatever their theme is.
So you design the cookies as well?
Absolutely.
I love that. Next time when you come on the show next time, can you bring some cookies? Because I would love to design some cookies with you.
I have a DIY cookie kit also, where you can decorate your own cookies. So next time I'll come and I'll bring you one, or maybe I can mail one to you. It's really simple. I do this all the time, so don't compare yourself to me. But everybody has a cookie artist inside of them. So we give you some tools so that you can get into your creative juices flowing, and then create cookies yourself.
I love that.
For sure.
Yeah. Next time when you come back on the show, I'm sure people would love.
So good. It sounds like I'm gonna be invited back. Great.
You are. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
Are you kidding me? You are. Yes, you are. So yes, we definitely. I love that. So I love you, Kirsten.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Back.
Okay.
You definitely gotta come back so we can have more time and stuff.
Super.
Obviously, this time went by so fast.
It did.
So fast. But you know what? That's why you're coming back, so we can have more time.
Okay, and then that way, when you come back next week, when I'm not here, you can go ahead. You can do it now, but you can taste the cookies, and then you can really tell your audience the real deal about how you think about these cookies. Because you're such a polite person. That's probably why you haven't been into this cookie yet, to be able to tell your viewers, so you can save it for them for next week, since we've run out of time.
That will work. I love that. That would definitely work. But Kirsten, I love it. I love you.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for the invitation.
And shout outs real quick. You got any shout outs?
Shout out to Detroit. Nobody does it better. We the best city in the world. I know. I went to Houston. Houston was cute. We talked about Houston, but at the end of the day, Detroit does everything. There would be no Beyonce. We love Beyonce, but the boss is Miss Ross, and she came from where? Okay, there's that. So not too much on all these other cities. Detroit, you know what I mean? You know what we do? We do everything great. We made the cars. If we didn't make cars, these people would still be riding around on horses and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, Detroit paves the way for everything. So, Detroit, stand up. I love y'all. That's what I want to say. That's a shout out.
There it is. All right. And you're not responsible for bringing all this heat back to Detroit while you was in Houston.
Listen, I've been blamed for it, and it's starting to look that way. But so I don't like the heat
you didn't order this heat to come to Detroit.
No, sir.
Are you sure about that?
It was not me. It was not me.
Let me find out.
It was not me. But you know how Detroit do. You know, we go to places and, you know, people get bit by the bug. They want to come with. So even the son was like, oh, where is she going? Let's go back. You know, so they came back with me. I can't help it.
I love this woman right here.
He's
I
so
love
sweet.
this woman right here. Y'all give it up for Kirsten.
Oh, thank you so
Kirsten
much.
Cookies by Kirsten.
You're so gracious.
Y'all make sure you reach out to her, get social media outlets, and all that good stuff. Get you some cookies by Kirsten.
Yes,
get
for
you
sure.
Some cookies by Kirsten.
All occasions. Oh, there we go. Come on, durable too. Boom. No, not a problem.
There you go. Cookies by Kirsten.
Love
right
it.
Here and stuff. And make sure you do that. I want to say thank you to my guest Kirsten for coming on and stuff. Thanks to all of you out there for tuning in. And I want to thank all of you for tuning in and stuff. And make sure, like I said, you reach out to Kirsten, get her goodies, get her cookies, and all that good stuff. Listen, y'all, we are going to make it back here next week. Y'all make sure y'all stay cool, stay dehydrated, like I said. Get you plenty of water. Because it's going to be like this for a minute. It's going to be like this, I think they said this week or something. But I love you, Detroit. Make sure you be cool. Make sure you stay dehydrated. And we are all about the vibes on Sunday Night Vibes.
It's a vibe.
Right here on Courageous Detroit Radio Network. Y'all have a good night. Stay cool. We'll be back next week. Bye.
Bye.